Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Middle-Aged Outlaws podcast where two middle-aged, cynical and jaded Scottish wrestling fans try to find any modicum of joy through the greatest form of entertainment in history, professional wrestling. Today, Adam, we will be discussing Lucha Underground Season 2 finale extravaganza, Ultima Lucha 2.
We made it.
We're here.
Yeah.
We're here. There was no doubt after Season 1, was there, to get all the way here?
No, I think we knew we were going to make it. I think little bits of it were... It's all in all, it's not as good as Season 1, but everything was new in Season 1, so that's to be expected.
Yeah, totally agree with that. And a really, really good 3-part Ultima Lucha, I would say, over the piece.
Yeah.
Now, we last recorded about, what did you say, 3 weeks ago? Maybe
just
even more.
under 3 weeks ago.
And as soon as we finished recording last, I stupidly went and watched all 3 episodes of Ultima Lucha because I'm a child, clearly.
Yeah. You messaged me about 3 hours after we stopped recording saying it was something like, I've done something a wee bit silly or something like that.
Yeah. I can't remember what you thought. You thought that had been like a way to watch like whatever it is that we're planning on doing next.
Yeah.
So at least it wasn't that.
Yeah, I thought you'd got ahead of yourself, but you'd only got a wee bit ahead of yourself.
I hope that I'm going to put my faith in the power of the notes and trust.
Do you know, I nearly accidentally deleted all my notes.
Oh no.
So
imagine that.
I've got them all on my laptop, and I was clearing up, like, in, anticipation of us moving on and talking about something else in the future weeks. I've got all these tabs for the separate shows, and I was deleting them all, and I was like clicking on one to delete, and I was like, wait a minute, that's the one we haven't talked about yet. I probably could have recovered it, but yeah, it was a little bit of a nervous moment, made worse by the fact that I knew that you would be purely relying on those.
Like a 20-minute episode running through Ultima Lucha 2. Here's the matches, and here's who won. Good points here. Last Ultima Lucha, we had some random guy that was horse race commentating. We didn't have that this time. We got Striker and Vampiro the whole way through, thankfully.
I did have the fear, but yeah.
Yes, we did. I'm just trying to think because I can remember. Something happens in part 3 where Vampiro, but it's all good.
It's all fine.
Yeah. I had the fear that it's almost like when I switched on, I was like, oh no, that guy the last time. Welcome everybody.
Yeah.
Right, okay, so it was a 3-parter, like we said, so we just go for it.
Let's do this.
There's a lot, isn't there? There's a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
Okay, so part 1. I love the, just before we get into the matches and all that, the aesthetic of what they do with Temple. I love what they do with the Temple. There's not much you can do with it, but what they do with these big sort of Roman posters that they have hanging down, they just look awesome, don't they?
Yeah. Does it give you WrestleMania 9 vibes? Is that what's going on there?
Maybe subconsciously. Maybe, yeah. That is the greatest WrestleMania. Everybody is aware of that.
Okay.
This first part of Ultima Lucha, DOS, is all about for a unique opportunity, which you will remember that Dario, our Lucha Underground owner, gave a unique opportunity to 4 men. We weren't 100% clear from the previous episode if it was going to be a 4-way or how this was going to work, but how it is working is a sort of tournament, 2 semi-finals and a final, and the person winning getting absolutely followed in the Alps by the decision-making of Dario Cueto. Is it follow? That's what you get. Find someone in the Alps.
Find someone in the Alps, yeah.
For that person. So, our very first match of the night in our For a Unique Opportunity pay-per-view tournament is the Mac versus Cage. And this is a rematch of last year's Ultima Lucha match where they had a much more intense rivalry on the go.
Yeah.
Our boy Dario is dressed up to the nines in full tuxedo, and he immediately interrupts things before we can get started. And he says that last year's match between Mac and Cage was so amazing that he's making this one the same stipulation, which was a falls count anywhere match. And that is all I can remember. And these two had a really good match at the last Ultima Lucha, like we said there. And they just did it again. The two big gentlemen that are very athletic, but they go hard at each other. And this was really good. A really good start.
There's a violence to it when these two are up against each other. There's an aggression. Nobody's holding anything back here.
There is, but there's also sort of absurd sort of aspect to it where like the Mac sort of morphs into these other wrestlers, like he grabs a beer and suddenly becomes stone cold. And it's just like, bizarre more than any other word for it. This goes all over the shop. We have them. We've got trash can lids. We've got all sorts of.
They burst into.
Sorry, go on. Yeah.
They burst into Dario's office, and Dario is in there. I think is Black Lotus maybe in there as well.
Black Lotus is with him.
And Dario, when it happens, and he looks absolutely thrilled. He obviously said he wants this to be violent, so the fact that his door's basically been caved in, he's thrilled by this.
A Cage comes out of his office with a framed. Is it an Ultima Lucha poster, or is it just certainly a framed poster?
I think it's a framed Ultima Lucha poster.
Yeah. Right, and he smashes that, and there's glass everywhere after that. Yeah. We get some just really intense stuff. A jackknife powerbomb by Cage onto two steel chairs and bending as the Mac goes through it. But then in the same sort of breath, you're then getting standing shooting star presses by one of these, by the Mac. Mac has a guitar which he rattles over the head of Cage. Surely a shout out to your boy, surely.
Double J.
Yeah.
There's also at least one, maybe multiple piñatas.
Yeah. And so I don't know where he gets them from. I think like Striker's talking about there being like an after show party or something like that. And he's like, "Oh, I'll let you in a little secret here."
Because it seems to vary. Because some of them seem to be full of sweets. I think, which is traditional. But then I think there's maybe other weapons that seem to be in some of them. Yeah.
And somebody gets smashed over the head. Cage, I think, gets smashed over the head. And as it happens, and there's sweets spilling out. I don't know. Do they refer to him as Hot Tub Guy or something like that? But there's a fat guy in the crowd, like
I think so,
running about, picking them up like Pac-Man.
I was not sure who Hot Tub Guy was supposed to be. Must be a thing, but it's not to me.
So I've got my notes here. It's only been about 10 minutes in, and I think I've counted "This is awesome" chant about 4 times because it's just 100 miles an hour between these two. We get a toolbox over the head from the Mac. Cage, who's setting up some tables. Some questionable commentary from Striker, as there normally is. It's something to do with him. He's putting Mac in chains and he starts waxing lyrical. It's just uncomfortable. Just in it.
Yeah, just leave it, Striker. You're good at what you do. Just cut out some of it.
There's the stunner from Mac after he gets a couple of beers in him. and I think he's given it like the old head wobble and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if Stone Cold must be aware of that, because he seems like he's like a proper wrestling connoisseur, right? Doesn't he?
I've got a feeling if it was even just a case of somebody tapping him on the shoulder and saying, "Have you seen this? Are you aware of this?" He would watch it. He would definitely watch it. Yeah.
There's that guy that was in TNA. What's he called? Are they called Shark?
Shark Boy. Yeah.
Shark Boy, that's it. And he did like a full Austin gimmick, didn't he?
Mm-hmm. I mostly remember the head wobble thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mark puts Cage onto one of these tables that he set up, climbs up into the Believers, and frog splashes down onto Cage through the table, but Cage unbelievably kicks out. We get a callback to last year. Cage pulls out a cinder block. He places Mark's head on it, and he's going to do the stomp again and stomp his head right through it. But does he slip, or does Mark just sort of pull him?
What the announcer says, because it's not really clear when you first saw it, but I think he's supposed to have slipped on a puddle of beer on the mat. Yeah.
So he slips and falls over. The Mark rolls him up and gets the 3 count, and the Mark wins and goes to our final of For a Unique Opportunity.
I was thinking we've kicked things off with a shocker.
Yeah, unbelievable.
I think we were both thinking last week with this, if this was a normal mid-season tournament thing, anyone can win because it's crazy what they do. But we were thinking this is Ultima Lucha Dos, and it's a tournament on night 1. So what are they going to do with this? But immediately when Cage didn't win, I thought probably nothing consequential to night 2, because I'm looking at the guys that are left and I'm thinking, I'm not sure any of these are getting added to the main event, even not knowing the outcome of match 2. If it had been Cage, though, you could have seen them doing something like that.
Yeah, 100%. I think I just assumed Cage would win this thing, and it would go somewhere towards night 3 or something, title fight or something like that. But yeah, I have to say, I was disappointed for a boy. I think I had him pegged as champion. About midway through this season, I had him pegged as champion come the end of it. So, so the second semi-final was your boy Tejano versus it's Son of Havoc's, but like the Detroit Lions a little bit for us, isn't he? Like,
everyone loves Son of Havoc.
Yeah. And the camera sort of spoiled something, I think, because you can see some weird ass looking thing with like drinks and stuff, optics all set up. But Dario comes out before this thing can get kicked off as well. He says when he sees a biker and a cowboy, he thinks of a bar fight, and therefore this is going to be a Boyle Heights bar fight. And Vampiro says something about having too much to drink and ending up at the end of a night with a biker and a cowboy, and I'm just...
You just have to roll with it.
Yeah, absolutely. This one wasn't as good as the first one, but it was pretty brutal. One of them goes through this mobile bar that's sitting at the side of the ring. I'm trying to look to see if I can see who it was that ends up going through it. Remember, I'll come to it. But see, I like Son of Havoc, and we've seen the progression of his character from jobber sort of thing to the trios, and then he's sort of going it alone now, and think, like, I was happy to see that he won this, but I think I would have liked Tejano to win it.
Yeah, I feel like they've really cooled Tejano off in this season. Like he came in last year, and they're talking about him. What was it, being the longest reigning AAA champion or something like that? And he has the program with Alberto, and that feels very top of the card-ish. Yeah. And then he's just kind of not. He's not really had a consistent program in this. I think he had some issues with Chavo, but it's just not really. Nothing's really felt like it's gone anywhere for him in this season.
Very stagnated. So there's a lot going on here. Tejano's breaking glass beer bottles over Son of Habit's head, but he comes out wearing like a fireman's outfit. He's trying to break bottles over his head whilst he's wearing the helmet. It's a bit like watching the guys in American football punching each other when they've got their helmets on. Vampiro's enjoying it. He's screaming, brother, 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 brother. I don't know what that was all about. We get the bull rope involved from Tejano. But then things sort of go up a notch where they just sort of start bringing things into the middle of the ring and breaking them for them to land on.
Yeah. There's one because there's stools, there's like these bar stools, and I think it is it Havoc, or I can't remember actually which one of them sort of drops onto one, but they just kind of fold, but it still looks like, I couldn't see how it wouldn't hurt.
It's Tejano gets hit with a Frankensteiner and like flips on it right on his back.
Yeah.
Tejano sort of sets up Son of Havoc in the corner with the steel chair leaning in between his legs, and he runs up and swings the other chair like a baseball bat, and Vampiro screams, "Right in the balls!" What are you doing?
I wasn't sure if Vampiro was intentionally coming across a wee bit unhinged through this, because there are a few moments.
Yeah. Well, we've seen him getting rid of his medication, I suppose. So
he's leaning into it.
He's playing the character. It's Tejano. He ends up back body dropped over the ring and all the way through that bar at the side of the of the ring.
I was kind of, as soon as it was there, I was kind of expecting it, but it didn't look pleasant when it happened. But I was just waiting for it to happen all match.
It just doesn't look like it lends itself to getting landed on. It's all awkward angles.
Yeah.
To finish this thing off, Son of Havoc smashes up a bunch of glass bottles in the ring and double foot stomps Tejano, who lands face first in the glass that he's all smashed up. That's a crazy sentence.
Yeah.
I've never seen that in a wrestling match. I don't really wish to see that again. I've
definitely seen like back first, but face first seemed a bit, I don't know. Don't do that
much.
Yeah.
And that was enough for the win for Son of Havoc. So our unique opportunity winner is going to be Son of Havoc or Willie Mack.
Yeah, I've at this point decided it's Havoc. Like I don't mean to be mean to Willie Mack, but Havoc's had the build, like you talked about earlier. Over time, he's established himself. I'm thinking Havoc's getting this opportunity without doubt.
Aye. Yeah. But do you see him? Like, would you be upset if he won the title or something?
So I think because we don't know what this opportunity is going to be at this point in time, I'm just assuming it'll be Havoc and it'll be something middling, like a Gift of the Gods opportunity or something like that.
Added to a ladder match or something. Yeah. Oh, it's not. I always say a ladder match. They had one Gift of the Gods ladder match, and then suddenly they all have to be. It's an elimination match. Anyway, okay, let's talk the final. Very difficult to go and have another. Do you not think difficult to go and have a match after the two matches these?
Yeah, because it's become clear as well. This tournament bit is this full episode, and so I'm hearing this match and I'm looking at the time and I'm thinking, oh, this is going to go quite long, because I think we're only about halfway through the show at this point. And I'm thinking this is tough going for both the Mac, who's carrying a wee bit more size than Havoc, but Havoc who's just gone, and tough going for these guys.
Little did you know there would be some Dario nanigans.
I should have known. I should have guessed.
Yeah. So before this one gets going, Dario emerges from his office again. He says he's surprised at these two being in his final. He says that his unique opportunity is so good that they really need to work for it. So this is also a Falls Count Anywhere match. And it's just like, how much sort of this is awesomeness can they possibly put on after there have been frog splashes off of barricades and all sorts of things. But this is a bit of a shorter one, I think, compared to the other two.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go so much into it because I don't particularly think there was that much. This was a lot more of a wrestling match than the other two with all the sort of weapons and stuff that was going on. What have we got here? I don't know. Do you have anything that sort of sticks out to you in this?
I've got bits and pieces. What I thought was quite interesting was the announcers went from, in the first two matches, just kind of reveling in the brutality, to telling more about the story in this match, which was the opportunity, the fact that these guys are both in with a chance, and maybe, Dario's already said it, maybe not the guys people would expect to have a unique opportunity. And it almost become, I felt a bit bad for the Mac. I mean, he's done nothing but good through most of his run. He's been there for Sexy Star all the way through. But it starts they start telling the story as, we've followed Havoc on this journey, and the Mac is there to possibly ruin this for him at the final hurdle, which I thought was quite harsh on Willie Mac.
It is, given the support he's provided to Sexy Star across this series. I don't recall what happened, but I'm pretty sure Stryker mentions that Son of Havoc reminds him of the Great Muta, but I don't remember why he said that. I don't think he's spitting anything on anyone. Hopefully not.
No.
I've got these two just absolutely smashing into each other in the turnbuckles. I think it's a pretty clean win, as far as I can remember. Just Son of Havoc managing to hit the shooting star press.
Yeah,
and getting the win.
He sets up just with a series of moves. I think he hits his handspring elbow thing, and then like a diving, I think flipping flying headbutt, and then the shooting star press. So yeah, it was clean.
What do you think of the handspring with a bearded biker?
It's odd. Like, there's times I haven't minded it through watching his journey, and I think it's because what he does tends to look a little bit different to what a lot of the other guys do. So I think I'm okay with him doing it, but I don't really want it to become a thing.
Yeah. It looks a bit Charlotte Flair or something to me.
Yeah.
I don't love it. Anyway, Son of Havoc has won. He has won the unique opportunity. He's in the crowd like Jose Aldo in Brazil. He's celebrating with the believers. And here comes Mr. Beast. Oh no, it's Dario, and he's got two briefcases. He's in the ring with Black Lotus. He says, I've got two briefcases. In one is $250,000. Or alternatively, you could take this other briefcase, which is a title shot contract for Ultima Dos Tres. The fantastic notes. Ultima Lucha Tres.
Yep.
What did you think he was going to take? The opportunity for the title?
I was sure he was going to take the opportunity, but as it was said, my heart began to sink a little bit, because Dario's already, he's been there, standing there saying, I'm surprised it's you guys. And now I'm thinking, how is he going to feel about Son of Havoc, who he has belittled and all that throughout the whole time, being in the main event of next year's Ultima Lucha? And it was at that point that I thought, he's going to get screwed over here. What I probably didn't realise is that it was about to happen immediately.
Yeah. So Son of Havoc says he doesn't care about the money. He'll be taking that main event title shot, and Dario applauds that, but he says there is a catch. To get this Ultima Lucha Tres main event contract, you must beat your next opponent. And it is at that point that the whole advertising campaign and the management of Mascarito Sagrada all comes to fruition, and famous B emerges. at the top of the stairs. He says he has a new client who is already famous, and he reveals that his new client is Dr. Wagner Jr. The crowd are going mental.
So was this a name that meant anything to you? It didn't to me, but there was a clear reaction.
I know the name, but that is as far as it goes for me.
Okay.
Like, Son of Havoc's already wrestled two really intense matches.
Yeah.
Dr. Wagner Jr., I'm fairly sure, is quite a high level wrestler, and where are we talking about? AAA.
Mm-hmm.
And he just comes in and just beats the shit out of poor Son of Havoc. And yeah, he then, what does he say, that the winner of his match takes the money? Does the Dr. Wagner Jr. get the money?
Dr. Wagner could only get the money. He wasn't going to get the opportunity to main event the next Ultima Lucha. Yeah. So Famous B's jumping around, shouting, "We're rich, we're rich." What a son of a bitch.
We didn't mention the beautiful Brenda. I think she was with them as well.
Well, beautiful Brenda, the last we saw her, was inconsolable about what had happened to Mascarito Sagrada.
Oh, that's right.
But now she's just immediately like, I've moved on.
It happens.
Well,
it happens.
Doesn't make it any less disappointing.
That's true, but when the guy hits a Michinoku driver as his finishing move, you can understand that.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
So basically, if you're a cynic and watch this episode, you'd be like, well, that was a really pointless episode.
Yeah. Nothing has actually changed at all for the landscape of the next episodes, but so be it. Here we are.
Entertainment. And we've got Dr. Wagner Jr., I assume, to look forward to in season 3.
Yeah.
So that was it. And I do like the idea of us having got the unique opportunity, not out of the way, but I like the episode being all about that, and we move on to what feels like a bit more of the pay-per-view.
It's almost like that was a bit of a pre-show type situation. Yeah. So the next episode is Ultima Lucha 2 Part 2. And the build-up here is around the Gift of the Gods match and the Mil Muertes against King Cuerno Deathmatch. So we're going to have the Gift of the Gods match out first. So this, remember, guaranteed, the holder of the Gift of the Gods Championship gets a guaranteed title shot. They have to call their shot, can't just cash it in on the moment. But this is as redoing the Gift of the Gods after an unsuccessful cash-in previously. We have...
Who previously cashed in?
Who was it that had it? Someone had it and didn't win the title.
Not King Cuerno, no. Was that season 1?
Not King Cuerno. They did
I can't remember.
Yeah, they did it quite early in the season.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Was it Phoenix? No.
Can't remember.
Nah, okay, it might come.
Pentagon. Didn't he enter the match because he took out Chavo just before it? And then, no, that was the six-person thing.
That's right, yeah. I'll come back to that.
Okay. So for this Gift of the Gods match, we have Sexy Star, we have Daga, Mariposa, Nightclaw, that Muerte guy, I can't remember his full name.
Sinestro de la Muerte.
That's it. Killshot, and Marty the Moth.
Your boy.
My boy. I'm just gonna own
okay,
it.
fine.
We these in the early stages, we found this a few times, can be quite hard to follow. I will do my best to capture what happened here. But immediately, one of the things we see and is pointed out to us is Cobra Moon is there watching Daga. He is going through some smooth in-ring sequences. She seems to be enjoying watching this. I've actually put in my notes, this will be easier to follow after some eliminations. Marty and Killshot are picking up kind of where they left off from before. We get some aggressive interaction between the two of them. Marty just can't stop poking the bear when it comes to Killshot. He keeps he stole his dog tags, pretended to give them back, stole them again. I've got here in my notes, Cobra Moon is definitely creepier than Marty the Moth. I mean, I'm not saying that makes Marty not creepy. Not at all, but you have to call out both when you see them.
It's the sort of mask and civvies wear that she's got on, and the tongue action.
Yeah,
all of that combination's too much.
It's just unsettling. Now, something I thought was going to happen here, just based on the start, was going to be a bit mad. So we talked about this Nightclaw guy that just walked into Dario's office, seemed to be highly thought of. Just got put in this match. He didn't have to earn his way in. Just got handed one of the
Aztec medallions.
That's it, Aztec medallions. So I don't think we'd really seen much of him in action before. But
this is our first time.
He's going to pretty quickly here eliminate what's his name, Sinestra de la Muerte. That fella. So
that was handy because they did look quite similar.
They did look quite similar, yeah. And thankfully, the announcers were able to tell me which one had just eliminated the other one. So yeah, we're going to be without Mr. Muerte moving forward. We're down to how many were in this? Is it 7?
7, I think.
Yeah, so we're down to 6, and we get Daga going flying onto Nightclaw, get Sexy Star doing her flying onto everyone, then Killshot. It becomes a little bit of just everyone taking their turn to do a bit of flying here. We get some impressive airtime by Marty the Moth. He's a big guy, but he can glide. We get Daga trying to tap out Marty the Moth with an armbar, but Marty's just a bit too strong for that, and he tries and then I think a choke on Marty just after that, but Nightclaw is going to appear out of nowhere with a flying leg drop.
Why would he break up a submission attempt?
It's always a bit baffling. I mean, this lad has not been here long enough to form any alliances, but it's
like for first night, just try and not do anything embarrassing, and there he is in Egypt, tipping up in front of everyone.
We're going to get Nightclaw, I think, with a second leap onto Daga for the elimination. And I'm thinking, so that's Daga gone, and Nightclaw has 2 eliminations here. So I'm immediately thinking, he is going to individually eliminate everyone and win.
That's what you're thinking?
Yeah.
Are you becoming are you throwing Marty to the side?
Oh, no.
For Nightclaw?
I don't play favourites in this kind of thing. I'm just here to talk about what actually happened. But
okay, you're like the BBC here.
I was immediately thinking, Nightclaw is, whether I like it or not, is going to win by eliminating everyone. That's what's going to happen here. We have Nightclaw is on. I think gets on the office roof. Killshot throws Marty to the steps. Nightclaw with a backflip off the office roof onto the others on the floor. Killshot, I've just got breaks Mariposa in half on the apron. We get a decent exchange between Nightclaw and Killshot. And then everything I thought was about to happen is suddenly undone. Nightclaw goes for a big splash onto Killshot. He moves out the way, and Killshot's going to hit that vicious-looking finisher that he does. Where I'm so worried the guy gets dropped on his head /neck.
Yeah.
But understandably, that is enough to eliminate the unbeatable-looking Nightclaw. He's gone.
Peak too soon.
I think we next get Sexy Star doing a stink face on someone.
Mariposa.
Channeling the inner Rikishi. Marty seems to be on the outside, getting a bit too close to Melissa, but she just kind of shoves him away, and then Sexy Star comes leaping off the turnbuckle onto him. Marty and Mariposa are teaming up, as makes sense storyline wise.
Did you remember they were brother and sister?
When I saw them interact with each other, yes. Was that gone for you? It's a long time ago.
No, I totally forgot, and then I saw them, like you say, they were sort of teaming up. Mm-hmm. Did we get down to Mariposa and Marty sort of versus Killshot and Sexy Star?
Yeah, because they're going to combine to eliminate Killshot here. Yeah. There's a stomp and then a move called the butterfly effect, which I've just written. I really don't like that. It looks really dangerous.
Oh, it's a vertebraker thing. There's absolutely no need for that to be performed.
Yeah. We're now looking at Sexy Star maybe being in a bit of a pickle, as she's up against both Mariposa and Marty. And I remembered at this moment thinking we both picked Sexy Star as the winner of this, and the deck looks a bit stacked against her. Yeah. Where do we go? Sexy Star manages to get an armbar on Marty, but the problem becomes clear that she's got is Mariposa's there to break it up. She ducks a big right hand by Marty, and the moment she was waiting for, as Marty accidentally knocks down and out his own sister. She kicks Marty out of the ring and pins Mariposa. All very logical. I like that. Get him out of the way, make sure he can't break the count. So we're down to Sexy Star against Marty the Moth. And the fans start chanting, "Kill the Moth." Yeah, they're not on the fence about what they want here. He gets a little bit creepy and all up in her personal space. She starts slapping and chopping him. Sexy Star tries for a submission, but Marty counters with a side slam. Sexy Star gets a cross arm breaker on Marty, and nobody is there to make the save. He's reaching for the ropes, but he cannot get there, and he is gonna submit. And Sexy Star is now the Gift of the Gods champion.
Incredible.
We get the fans chanting, "You deserve it," and I think we actually both, when we saw the lineup, thought that this was maybe a likely outcome from this. Yeah. We have the cops. Yes, the cops. So we've got, what's that creepy bugger's name?
Joey Ryan.
Joey Ryan. We have Joey Ryan and Cortez Castro. Mr. Cisco is reluctant, but what is it? Oh yeah, so they're saying, I don't think we find out what it is here, but they're saying if he does what they ask, he'll be cleared of all charges. I can't remember if the boss cop woman's there as well. I think she might well have been. But Mr. Cisco is very concerned that Dario will kill him. I don't think we get an awful lot of info about what they're asking or what he's going to have to do here.
It looked like they were wiring him up.
Yes. Yeah. So, yeah, that's right. So that points you towards trying to get some sort of confession slip out of Dario.
He does like a monologue, so it is quite smart.
Yeah.
Smart policing.
Yeah. We get a rundown of the rest of the card for the next show, the double parter. And then we are going to go into the death match. So, Muertes against King Cuerno. These two have had a bit of beef, it's fair to say. King Cuerno kind of, taking Muertes away after he lost to Matanza and wall mounting him and all that didn't go down very well. You can understand it. And then sort of sneaking a win. Is it fair to say against Mil in a match, and Katarina managing to get Dario's interest in a rematch by saying a death match. We are going to. I started thinking, so a death match isn't like a coffin match; it's just a death match, because that was throwing me at first when I was thinking about this.
Grave consequences on those coffin matches, weren't there?
Yes, that's it. So Mil Muertes is starting the stronger on top early, and we get more references to the fact Mil Muertes seems to have gone through some sort of a change. He's got the red eyes.
He's got the red eyes.
He's got the red eyes. And, they're talking about how aggressive he seems. This guy's always been aggressive. I don't ever, remember him going in and having like a, Bret Hart, Mr. Perfect style match. I mean, he's trying to end people, and he always has been. We get King Cuerno coming. It feels like a bit of an act of desperation, but he hits an arrow from the depths of hell just to try and get himself back into this match after he's taken quite a lot of punishment early on. That knocks Mil back into... It's funny when you get to these, there always seem to be like this little area of chairs that there's nobody in, but the rest of the arena completely packed out. He goes into those chairs. King Cuerno goes for another arrow from the depths of hell, but by this time Mil's kind of ready, and it's just at the edge of the ring and just knocks him out with a big right hand.
Can he spam
it? Yeah. Mil then sending King Cuerno over a few rows of seats. We get King Cuerno managing to get some offense on, and he leaps onto Mil. Vampiro is just thoroughly enjoying himself through this. He keeps talking about how he loves the violence, he loves the aggression that the two of them are bringing. He's definitely off his meds.
Definitely. I like how desperate King Cuerno appears to be fighting.
Yeah.
That dive from the crowd is just like screams desperation, and I feel like I'm running out of options here.
And it fits, because he is, for probably about 80% of this match, just getting his ass kicked by a monster that wants to murder him. We get the two are fighting in the bandstand and start using some of the instruments from the band.
They're way high up, and just for a second, Mil grabs the microphone stand and just sort of poses, and the fans are loving it. I love that sort of... he can get away with that because it's just so weird.
Yeah. Nice. King Cuerno gets knocked, but he's holding onto the edge, trying to stop himself from dropping down to the floor, and then Mil's just going to stamp on his hands till he drops. Mil has a ladder, just throws it right at King Cuerno. He has the steps, which I don't think we see that often in Lucha Underground, the steps being used. He sits King Cuerno in them and is going to leap onto him, but King Cuerno gets up, gets out the way, and all of this little bit of an attempt at recovery by King Cuerno just seems to really piss Mil off. We get a nice top rope Frankensteiner by King Cuerno, and Mil is kind of talked about this in the past a few times. Like, it's like the villain in a horror film where the guy, you can have your comebacks and maybe hurt him a little bit, but he just keeps coming at you. He just won't stop. Relentless. We have Mil Cuerno puts Mil's head through a glass window. I wasn't actually sure if it was Dario's office. It usually is.
No, it was that they fight their way up the top of the stairs, and there's glass panels at the top.
That's right.
Mil just completely no-sells it and just does the same back to
no-sells it, does the same back to Cuerno. And King Cuerno kind of just rolls all the way, or is it all the way down the stairs? I think it is.
All the way down. Proper stuntman work, that.
And Mil is just stalking. He's just following him. Mil sets up a table and he looks set to powerbomb King Cuerno through it, but King Cuerno counters and hits a DDT. And King Cuerno's choking Mil Muertes out. I'm thinking, but you can't keep the man down. Mil's back up and tries to put Cuerno into the ladder. Cuerno wisely just drops, I think, rather than running after being propelled, and backdrops Mil into the ladder. I think this is where King Cuerno actually makes his mistake. King Cuerno grabs Katarina, and Mil just comes absolutely flying at him and takes him out. Mil, man-possessed, powerbombs King Cuerno through a table, and again, Mil has snapped here. He has a crowbar from under the ring. Mil, off the top, crowbar shot to the back of the head. I think it was the shoulder, thankfully. And then a tombstone by Mil Muertes, and he gets the win. King Cuerno may be dead.
Yeah. Proper, like, ragdolled him after the multiple powerbomb through tables. Then the crowbar. He looked like he was dead.
Yeah. We get Katarina coming into the ring, the lick of death, and the medics are out with a stretcher. From there, we get a recap of the match Pentagon had with Vampiro last year. And we get... Yeah?
I'm just laughing at my notes. Striker asks, how's Vampiro feeling about it all? And Vampiro, in response, empties all his meds into the bin.
Yeah.
I'm just laughing at the visual of that.
Yeah. It's not a great sign, because he actually Vampiro talks about having tried to distance himself from all of this, but Vampiro, I think, feels like Striker's pushing him a bit, asking him what chances Pentagon has, and that's it. And then Vampiro says, "You can call me the master. It's time for me to go and get my student ready." That gave me the fear about the commentary for the next show. We have a video of Mr. Cisco going to see Dario, and he says he comes across as so brilliantly false. He's just there to check on him, see if he needs anything. He says something like, "We used to be boys." He says, whatever he was doing, he's a loyal soldier. Dario picks up on the nervousness of Mr. Cisco, and immediately he's seen through this, asking if he's wearing a wire, and he tells him to unbutton his shirt. So Dario, on seeing the wire, has a message for the police, and he's saying, what do they want me for? Murder? Cisco says, I don't think so. Dario says, they do now. And then he picks up something off his desk and seems to bludgeon Mr. Cisco to death.
Brilliant use of the word bludgeon. It's that Red Bull ornament thing.
Yeah.
His trusty Red Bull ornament.
And then, just as we're going off, Dario places a call. We don't know who to, and says, it's time. So,
to who?
It's not Vader. It could have been Vader.
Oh man, imagine. Oh man. It's an ultimate honey dicking. What was he telling? Let's revisit It's Time. Let's revisit that. Maybe I could be forgetting something to be fair. Okay. What did you think of this? What did you think of that deathmatch?
I quite enjoyed it. I thought they gave King Cuerno enough. Like, he had moments and he wouldn't quit and all that, but I quite like when Mil Muertes is just a vicious bastard, and see the way he switched towards the end and just started absolutely destroying him. Because it felt like Mil Muertes through season 1 was kind of the unbeatable guy. He was the monster, and then Matanza came in and kind of usurped him in that role. And it feels like built him back up through another program and now have him looking like a bit of a unbeatable monster again.
Yeah, it's good. I feel like between that and the match that we get between Matanza and Penta. I think the move away from season 3 is probably the best. For me, I feel like we've seen everything that there is to see now.
Yeah.
Obviously, with storylines and all that, it could become interesting, but probably from a in-ring point of view, we've probably seen as much as we're going to see that's going to make us like, wow, that's new.
Yeah.
But I might be wrong.
We can see how we feel in a couple of years.
Within a couple of years, yeah. Okay, let's tag team Ultima Lucha DOS Part 3 then. So we kick off with some cinematic between Vampiro and Pentagon Jr. We're all monologuing from Ian Hodgkinson. He says he must destroy the man who was broken by the monster. And he sends Pentagon, this is all very Star Wars, with the hoods and sends Pentagon off into a dark cave. And strangely, there are a bunch of other Pentagons in the cave. A bunch of strobe lights are going off, and Pentagon Jr. engages in fight with all these other Pentagons. It's quite hard to tell what's going on at times. It looks like Vampiro might be fighting with our Pentagon. And eventually, Pentagon gets the better of everyone in the cave. He takes off his mask. Yeah. And Vampiro says, "Now you're ready." He gives him a candle and tells him to extinguish it so that Pentagon Dark can take his place. It's a bit on the nose, Pentagon Dark, isn't it?
Yeah, a wee bit. Yeah, I think on the nose, you probably get away with on the nose a bit better in Lucha Underground than in another promotion. But yeah, even for this, it felt quite on the nose.
Yeah. And I think later on they talk about Pentagon Dark. It's Vampiro's like, that's Pentagon Dark, not Pentagon. I'm only going to tell you one more time.
Oh, yeah. He gets really annoyed with Stryker about that.
It's kind of like calling him Pentagon Angry or something like that. Okay, so our first match of the night is the Trios Championship match. We've got the challengers Drago, Aerostar, and Phoenix taking on our current champions, which is Johnny Mundo, Jack Evans, and TJ Black. Not Jack Black is what I was going to say. That'd be really entertaining.
Wasn't he in a Lucha Libre film?
He was, and it was not very good.
Oh, I never saw it.
In my opinion.
Okay.
Champs have got their matching bandanas again. It's all we're still going very like, Dude, Where's My Car? Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. Yeah, that's fine. It's entertaining. Yeah. You had speculated that we might get Taya in one corner and Evilise in the other, but they're nowhere to be seen.
I suppose what I didn't know at that point in time is would their match between each other be the same night as this, and it is. So I'll excuse neither being there or involved.
I've just remembered something about this match. So, a couple of weird things with this match. First of all, there's a lot of weird finger blasting type manoeuvres going on in this match.
I'm sorry, I just didn't expect to hear finger blasting used.
It's Jack Evans that starts it, and he runs at Aerostar, who's bent over, and he just runs and shark fins him in the ass, and then pretends to smell his fingers. And there's also a thing where Stryker goes a bit red JR about the referees being made to look like fools and the rules aren't being followed and all that.
He got really annoyed. Yeah, because he's talking about that, because the ref basically doesn't really have any control over this match, and it feels like that for a lot of the match. And he gets really annoyed about it, Stryker. And I was thinking, this must be leading to something later on, where the ref is going to miss something crucial or something like that. I'm not sure how much this ever really pays off.
It just genuinely furious. Just felt like a bit of a rant.
Yeah.
Jack Black does. Jack Evans does that fucking weird finger stink thing. Phoenix as well.
Yeah.
There's characters like if he'd done that to Marty or Joey Ryan or something, but no Phoenix. Like
just try and turn the weirdness back on one of those guys rather than some poor clean living luchador that doesn't really have it coming.
Yeah. We get Aerostar diving off of Phoenix's shoulders as Phoenix is stood on the second ropes, and he dives to the outside, which is just mental. So many opportunities for it all to go wrong. Beautiful frog splash by Phoenix onto Johnny Mundo, gets a very close to Aerostar, does his sort of flying nothing. And I think he hits that as Drago also dives, just the usual stuff that we expect to get, especially from Aerostar and Drago. We've got the air guitar stuff on the go again. I think does that come afterwards, or is that just? No, that's during the match. Unbelievable. Yeah, because I think they end up bringing their titles into the ring and they're smashing.
Yes.
A lot of them with their. That's right. They bring their titles into the ring and they smash the other guys with titles. They're doing like a fist bump with the titles, and then they do their air guitar, and then PJ Black just kicks the referee in the face.
Yeah. Which I think infuriated Striker as well.
Aye, he's been falling out of his seat after what he was talking about earlier. So, to counteract all this bad behaviour from the heels, Angelico emerges. Where has he been for all of the season?
Forgot all about that guy. And then because the announcers quite quickly go into this must be who put Angelico out of commission. I was like, Angelico got put out of commission? Did he? And then I remembered that the love triangle had to defend in a tournament as just a duo.
Yeah.
Because he was injured. But yeah, I probably needed that signposted to me a little bit earlier to fully
and normally
remember
they do. They'll give you a wee reminder of with a little video thing set up here. But anyway, Angelico's down here. He smashes Johnny Mundo with his crutch as he's setting up the end of the world. It must have been Johnny Mundo that did this because he's going absolutely mental with a crutch on him outside. Phoenix Driver from Phoenix on Johnny Mundo, and they get the win. I'm actually surprised to read that. Clearly, I've remembered that. So Drago, Aerostar, and Phoenix are the trios champions.
Now,
Phoenix is a Triple Crown champion.
Wow. If I'm being a bit cynical, I would immediately be wondering, are these three guys that they know they've got signed up for next season, and is there a question mark, say, over Johnny or someone like that? Because you want your champions to be in the next season, otherwise you're having to come up with something a little bit creative. But yeah, I won't be too disappointed if certainly PJ Black doesn't appear for any future season.
Yeah, I just feel like, and Jack Evans, I feel like, was just acting up a lot of the season and doing things he was definitely not asked to do. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's not asked back either.
Yeah, maybe it wasn't the performer's choice. Maybe just we'll call you, okay?
I never thought about that, but I think you're onto something there.
Obviously Johnny they would have back, no doubt, every day of the week, but he's maybe a hard one to get booked. I assume he has options. Is he in AAA as well, or has he been in AAA
at that point? Yeah,
I
think so. Yeah. You would be surprised if his performances in the last two seasons hadn't won him not so much new admirers, but more like, oh, we remember what you can do.
Yeah, he's very good.
I'll take the next match if you don't mind, and then I'll leave you to do the title match. Is that okay?
Right, okay, yeah, go ahead. I thought this might be one you wanted to avoid, but yeah.
Oh no, I was really looking forward to discussing this next match,
Okay.
and one we've all been looking forward to. I think it's fair to say it's the big grudge match and the much anticipated debut of Black Lotus in the Temple. So we're getting Black Lotus taking on El Dragon Azteca Jr., who was he was trained by the original Dragon Azteca and also trained by Rey Mysterio. I mean, the guy should be Brock Lesnar meets Bruno Sammartino based on his pedigree.
Yeah.
So yeah, little Gecko Bitch versus Black Lotus. And much to our surprise, I'm just talking for us both, but Black Lotus looked good. Not anything like I expected her to look like. We've only ever saw her fight in these cinematic B-movie things backstage.
It made me wonder why it took them so long to actually put her in a match. Because she's been appearing she was appearing in season 1, wasn't she, as mysterious, in the crowd and then knocking on Dario's door and stuff like that. It does seem odd that they waited until the very end of season 2 for her to actually do anything in the ring.
I wonder if she's just saying, who knows?
Maybe.
So I do want to take issue with the believers here, because when this little bitch gets in the ring, they're proper gassing him up, and it's like, please, don't encourage him. It's like the boss's son being at work and everybody being like, hey, what's happening, big guy? And I'm thinking he's the big cheese. A little bitch. So right to start off with, Azteca goes for a big dive towards her and completely misses her hitting turnbuckles. Just absolutely wonderful. She hits a lovely head scissors takedown and then a nice flying arm drag from the top rope as well. And I just thought, wow, let's get her in the main event immediately. However, Azteca Jr. does manage to get back on top. He sends her outside. He goes for a big dive, but misses. I think I'm all over the place. There's too many he's and she's in my notes. I've got he goes for a big dive, but she misses. He lands on his feet and she knocks him down. I'm just a bit confused. I knew where this match went. I was very excited about it, but he launches her in the barricade, which looks absolutely brutal. The commentators are very confused about why these two hate each other.
Yes,
as well.
They don't get it at all, which I always forget about this. I always forget they don't see the backstage segments.
They know nothing,
we see.
basically. Yeah. But so as the commentators are talking about this, we're back in the ring, and Azteca is up on the top ropes like he's going to try and finish this off. And Pentagon appears from nowhere and pulls him off the top ropes. He just gets in the ring and destroys the pair of them. He breaks Lotus's arm. He hits the package pile driver on the little bitch and breaks his arm too. Yes! Yes! Oh my god. If I was there, I'd be running round and round the round the ring with my top off, swinging it round my head.
I didn't expect this, because obviously we know Pentagon has his own situation going on, and I'm assuming later. But what never really occurred to me, so I had wondered, well, how did they get out of this match? Because they've built up the little gecko bitch. He'd been part of a trios championship team. They even had him, never really looked like he had Prince Puma in trouble, but looked competitive in stages in a match between the two. And then they've debuted Black Lotus, and I'm thinking, well, they're not going to have him just destroy her. And I don't know how interested I am in the story behind their reason for a rivalry. But I was thinking, how are they going to get out of this? And I thought it'll be a non-finish. But what I didn't expect was Pentagon to come in and just absolutely destroy them both. And I knew, I've got in my notes, Ross is buzzing.
It may be my excitement, but I've got Pentagon looks like $1 million.
Oh, nice.
Vampiro screams, "That's not Pentagon Jr., it's Pentagon Dark." Alright, Vampiro, we get it. Pentagon has the mic and he's talking about Pentagon Jr. like he is a different person. He's talking about Pentagon Jr. was destroyed by Matanza Cueto. His master taught him to go to the darkest place in the universe, faced his fears, and he's here stronger and more powerful than ever. Ian Hodgkinson is dead, destroyed by Vampiro. Pentagon Jr. is dead, destroyed by Pentagon Dark, and tonight he will destroy Matanza Cueto. And I've got the Vampiro is watching on like a proud papa. And it's at this point that we realise that Pentagon Dark is falling for his match right this minute.
So I thought this is how they we had a bit of debate last time about whether they would put Rey and Puma on main event, and I thought this is kind of how they get out of this, by having Pentagon get involved in the previous match and just saying, "Now, I want it now." I thought like the start of his promo was a wee bit clunky, but see, by the end, they were absolutely lapping it up, the crowd that were there, hanging on every word.
I'll let you take on the title match then.
So, Lucha Underground World Title match. Pentagon Jr., Pentagon Dark, the challenger against Matanza, the seemingly unbeatable champion. We've had this idea in our minds that we were on the Pentagon redemption arc, and this is how it was all going to culminate. So It's what I'm fully expecting as we go here. We get Pentagon off to a very fast start, and this, I think, quite early starts to look like a very different match from what we've seen Matanza in before. In that Pentagon is beating the shit out of him for huge chunks of this match. It's kind of like a total reversal from what we've been used to seeing. Matanza's just trying to survive. He's kicking out. He's trying to get a bit of separation and breathing space and things like that. And Pentagon is just all over it non-stop.
Yeah, 100%.
Striker really pissing off Vampiro by not calling him Dark and not acknowledging he is now a different guy, because Striker is foolish enough to bring up the previous defeat that Pentagon had suffered at the hands of Matanza. It's not him, Matt Striker. This is Pentagon Dark. We have a Death Valley driver on the floor. It's all Pentagon. He's hitting chair shots. We've seen Matanza in situations that look competitive, like we saw him against Muertes, and they were doing each other damage. But what we had never seen is Matanza just being dominated like he is here.
Yeah, this isn't competitive. He's getting destroyed.
Yeah.
It was crazy, absolutely crazy to watch, and it's like fair play to all their booking, because once you see this, you're like, what is going on here?
Yeah. He hurls Matanza into chairs, and he's starting taking out his leg with chair shots. Vampiro is absolutely delighted. Dario is at ringside. He's shouting, I think it's "Wake up and remember Mama." To Matanza.
Don't like that.
We get I think it's referred to as a monster's ball by Pentagon for a 2. Matanza starts coming back a little bit. He does this 2 or 3 times in the match. He hits a pump handle slam and a standing shooting star press for a 2. Matanza seems to get to a point where he's kind of shaken off an awful lot of what's happened to him, and the two are face to face in the ring. And we get a fall-away slam by Matanza.
Can I just ask you? Yeah, he does that fall-away slam. A fall-away slam's a fall-away slam. Who the fuck does a move called the Irish car bomb?
Oh.
Striker says, and it does fall-away slam, Striker says, "Modified Irish car bomb," and I was like,
no,
what?
I don't.
That's not.
Sorry, Matt, I don't think that's a name for a move.
There's not been like an Irish wrestler with like their gimmick around.
And if there was, I think they would shy away from that gimmick. I missed that. I didn't pick up on it. Oh, Matanza charges the ropes. Pentagon smacks him with a chair. We get a Mexican destroyer by Pentagon, and he signals to Vampiro, who's going to bring him a barbed wire bat. I'm thinking we're done here. We've had the comeback. It's been squashed. We have Dario getting in and stopping Pentagon from striking Matanza. Pentagon goes after Dario. He's going to break his arm. But Matanza now has the bat. He strikes Pentagon from behind, saving his brother. And then we get the Wrath of the Gods by Matanza. And he gets, basically, it's almost like a chicken shit champion retention. He had nothing of the match. He hits him from behind with a foreign object, and he gets the win to keep his belt by the skin of his teeth. And I thought, I felt a little bit disappointed. I thought, where could we go with a seemingly unbeatable Pentagon? That was intriguing to me. But yeah, we have Matanza getting the pin win after, I think, is it called the Wrath of the Gods move? That kind of
reverse power slam thing. Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah,
that's an important detail. I think. Does Pentagon invite Vampiro over?
It seemed like it to me. Yep.
Yeah, that's an important point, I think.
So Vampiro is seemingly trying to console Pentagon after his defeat, but Pentagon is pissed off. He shoves him away. He's frustrated. He seems like he's blaming Vampiro. Vampiro seems a bit in shock at what's just happened. Like he couldn't believe it could have finished like this, and based on watching the match, it is a shock that it could have finished like this. But yeah, certainly comes across that Pentagon very unhappy with Vampiro.
It was a really good match in that it was just like, it was like an adrenaline dump. It was just like so shocking to see this guy that's just went through everybody.
I had a bit of
just get his ass kicked.
Do you remember when they didn't give Cody Rhodes the world title win at the WrestleMania when he'd been really hot through the year? I had a bit of that kind of deflation about me. Like, but it was all there. The story was all there, and you've not put it on him. Now, I don't know, and we'll maybe find out one day where they go in terms of the road from here, but to me it felt like a bit of a missed opportunity.
Yeah, me too. Especially on your big show and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Our next match is Taya and Ivelisse. We've got I always forget who it is. It's an Earthquake versus Atom Bomb. Scenario here.
Yeah.
Good luck to you following that.
It's a shame for them, because I think we've both been quite impressed with Taya since she debuted. Definitely. And Ivelisse is always a fighter. She's always game, you know. But yeah, this is your letdown match. Your exhale.
Yeah, 100%. We get the shenanigans going on in this as well. And some pretty amusing stuff for Vampiro. So I like the wrestling on show is good, and we kind of expected that.
Yep.
We get Vampiro saying he's not feeling good, and he's just sitting hammering those. He's got the pills back, and he's sitting hammering them. As he sat there at
I'm no doctor, but I don't think that's not what it says on the label.
Just take them consistently, okay? Don't be missing them and then hammering them. That's a bad idea, Vampiro. These two, and I think this is a total bugbear of mine. I don't even think I've mentioned this before, but you know this thing where people go out to the commentary table and they just like bang the person's head off the table over and over. All the person is doing is slapping the table, and it looks horrendous.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they end up doing that, and I'm just get annoyed with that. The back into the ring. A lovely German release suplex by Ivelisse. She then hits a Mexican destroyer, but the ref is down to count, the lights go out. It's the Undertaker!
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
When they come back on, Katrina's in the ring and she's wearing wrestling gear.
Never seen the likes before.
No. She hits some crazy looking guillotine driver type thing on Ivelisse.
Yeah, Ivelisse. Yeah.
And when they come back on, she's on top of the office. Sorry, the lights go back out again. And when they come back on, she's on top of the office. I mean, that's some incredible editing or really fast moving.
I think it took me out of it a tiny bit when you told me, was it the last time we recorded, that the matches are way longer than what we see. Yeah. It's all cut down. Because when I first saw it, I thought, how did she get there so quickly? And I thought, okay.
Damn it. Taya hits a double foot stomp on the downed Ivelisse. It's the win. The lights go out again. You cannot... Listen, right, this is a thing. Lights can only go out really once. You can't keep putting them off and on. Okay? Lights go out again, and when they come back on, Katarina's teleported back in the ring. She says, death comes to everyone, even you, bitch, and licks Ivelisse, which is class.
Yeah.
So there we go. I think we're setting up a bit of a... I keep saying it, I think there's going to be a women's division in Lucha Underground.
Maybe. I think now that we've seen that Black Lotus can wrestle, we know Ivelisse, Taya can wrestle, we know Sexy Star can wrestle.
Mariposa.
Yeah, there's enough now, I think. But yeah, I'd be, based on what we've seen in ring, I'd be a little bit surprised if, Katarina was the ring general amongst all of this group, but you never know.
Listen, when you can put the lights off and on like that, you don't really... If Bret Hart was able to do that, then fuck the sharpshooter. It'd just be Russian leg sweep and it'd be over.
Well, that's fair.
What do you think about them building up? So the main event is Rey Mysterio versus Prince Puma, and we get this big long recap, basically of Prince Puma's career in Lucha Underground, but they use a lot of the Conan stuff.
Yeah.
I definitely thought Conan was coming back.
So did I. It was all there, and they were even putting in some little snippets about how it was Rey Mysterio that told Conan about Prince Puma and stuff like that, and I'm thinking, can you throw it in my face anymore? And I get it, Conan's coming back, he's probably going to have some involvement in the finish. I hear you, I understand. But then, he didn't.
No, and it was all very respectful, but we've been kind of moving towards a bit more of a grittier Prince Puma across this season. It would have worked, but hey-ho. I'll let you take the reins on this, and I'll ask you what you thought of it first of all before you into it.
So,
as the main event,
I found it an entertaining enough match. I'm not sure. It maybe makes more sense with what's going to happen at post-match, but I'm not sure this should have been on at the end. But we'll get to that kind of post-match scene. I think I've noticed and been aware ever since Rey Mysterio appeared that the crowd worship him and the other performers love him. Clearly he's a role model for every single one of them. They're leaning into this is the guy and this is the new guy, potentially, that can get to that kind of level. And that's fine. I think I was looking for maybe... So what you talked about earlier about Puma maybe being a bit more gritty at times, I don't know if it would have worked if you tried to make him full-on heel. I just felt like there was a little bit of edge missing from it. But like in terms of in-ring, they're both very, very good at what they do. There's no arguing with that. What did you think?
I enjoyed it, but there's just something a little bit flat about it. I think it's that edge of there being more to it, especially like the headline match. For me, I think Matanza and Pentagon had to be the main, but like you said, you've got Rey Mysterio on your show, you put him up front and centre. It was fine.
I thought we were maybe going to get a wee indication of the heat early on because Rey Mysterio immediately offers a handshake and Puma accepts it, and I thought, really? Because he seemed like he thought about it for a second, and then he did. And we get early stages Prince Puma on top. You know, there's a hell of a lot going on through this match in terms of move by move and counter by counter and all that. We get a spot where Prince Puma has Rey on his shoulders and they go over the top rope and land basically in the same position as they were in the ring, which is quite impressive. Yeah. We after a maybe the first few minutes, I would say, of Prince Puma being on top, Rey Mysterio starts to get some momentum coming back into the match. I think the crowd it's a bit like what you would imagine if you had, a Hulk Hogan or a Ric Flair. I think there's some spots in the match that fans want to see from Rey Mysterio. Yeah. So you get like the West Coast pop, into a springboard crossbody, got a tilt-a-whirl DDT. You know, some things you're used to seeing when he's in whenever Rey Mysterio's in the ring. And I imagine if you pay for a ticket and you don't see it, you're probably a little bit disappointed. So I'm fine with all of that. We hear there's a mention. I put it in my notes, so I must have thought it was interesting enough. Dominic Mysterio is in the temple now. Obviously, not the Dominic Mysterio that we know nowadays, who seems to be very over as a performer. But yeah, what age would he be? I don't know. Late teenage, maybe at this point, something like that. Dominic Mysterio. He's in the temple.
Current Triple A champion.
Is it? Of course he will be. Yeah. Is he Intercontinental as well?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. Yeah. He's not going to go heel on his dad here. It's okay. He's not going to get involved. We get Rey Mysterio going for a Hurricane Rana. Prince Puma's going to catch him and rolling double Northern Lights suplex by Puma.
Nice.
Prince Puma's going for a Razor's Edge off the top. Rey Mysterio manages to kick his way out of that. They're both still on the turnbuckle, and we get a backwards Hurricane Rana off the top, and Prince Puma goes absolutely flying off that. We get various like series of uppercuts by the two of them. A big, I think it was. I wrote it as a big backbreaker that I think is referred to as a thunderbomb by Prince Puma.
So I've got a lung blower by Puma into a blue thunderbomb.
Okay. And that I thought might have been it. It gets quite a near 2 count on that one. And then Prince Puma hits the 619 on Rey. And I was thinking, using his move, is this going to get a bit heated now? Not really. Get a 630 by Puma, but Rey kicks out at 2. I haven't had many kick out of the 630 splash. I think it's happened once or twice in time. The neutralizer by Prince Puma for a 2, and the announcers accuse him of getting a bit cocky in terms of the way he's going for his covers. He hits. He hits a running drop kick, and he takes a bit too long. No, he takes too long to. What do I mean there? This isn't the tribal chief. I'm saying he keeps acknowledging Rey, but he does hit another.
He goes for his 630.
Yeah.
Is he taking an awful long time? Is he kind of like saying like thank you for the match sort of thing? So he thinks he's got one.
That was it. Yeah. And it's another 630. Does he miss that one that he goes for? Yeah, misses that one. Which lets Rey Mysterio back into things. Rey Mysterio goes for the 619. Prince Puma catches him. Prince Puma wants to go for a tombstone, but Rey counters, and I don't know a better way to describe this, so I've just written, hits a crazy move.
Vince McMahon took that as a modified something.
Rey hits the 619 and then Hurricane Rana into a pin for the win. And I then wondered, okay, Rey Mysterio's got the win, but are they going to have Prince Puma be a bit like, do you know what, fuck you, I had you for most of this match, I'm not, acknowledging you now, but no, embraces him, raises his hand, made me think Rey's probably not going to be back for season 3.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. One and done.
Yeah. Rey leaves the ring and says to Puma, "These are your people. This is, we've long been told Prince Puma is the local guy here.
He's the Boyle Heights guy.
Yeah. And so Rey wants to give him his moment in the ring. But as he's walking up the steps, the crowd are chanting, 'Thank you, Rey.' We have, I thought this whole segment looked a wee bit awkward because it looked like they didn't quite know what to do or how they were to do it. But normally you would kind of expect to just go to the end, sort of start fading to black. But we've got Striker thanking us, and Vampiro is up and saluting the crowd. And then he's going to get attacked from behind by Pentagon, which we have kind of seen before, haven't we? We've seen him attack him from behind at the announce desk once before.
Yeah. Total jump scare because he's all black like the way he is. I think he sort of comes out of nowhere.
Pentagon kicks Striker away. We haven't often seen Striker physically assaulted in any way, and knocks down Vampiro. Pentagon drags the barbed wire. He's just going to beat the fuck out of Vampiro, basically. He drags the barbed wire bat across his face. He, I think, lifts the top of the desk up and hits him with that. He's biting Vampiro. He's again raking him across the face with the bat. Vampiro, he has a mic, and he says now he is the master. No, is it? Pentagon has the mic. Must be
Pentagon says that you're no longer my master. I am the new master.
I've just written the wrong name. It stopped making sense when I was saying it. Pentagon has the mic, says he's now the master, and wants everyone to now see Vampiro like this. He is Pentagon Dark. He's saying Zero Miedo. The fans are chanting for it. I'm like, oh my god, this is Vampiro, much respected, and the fans are absolutely. It seems from in the fans' eyes, Pentagon doesn't ever do any wrong. He's breaking arms. No. He's trying to murder his master. It's everything. They're there with him. Yeah,
he's not just murdering him. He's drinking his blood. Like he's licking the blood off his face and that. Like, come on.
That's one of those moments.
No here for that. Like,
I'm not into blood licking. That's it's just going a wee bit too far for me in wrestling. What we're going to see next, though, is Dario being arrested and taken away, and I'm thinking, oh, so obviously they heard him over the recording device. Doesn't really matter that. Mr. Cisco's dead. These things happen. They still would have been able to hear and add a pretty definitive murder to Dario's list of crimes. But as he's put in the van and he's sitting in the van, he gets this smile come across his face. And he's obviously knowing this isn't going to be a problem for me. And we get a big
happiness.
To be continued pop up on the screen, which is what you want to see when you're moving away from watching a certain product. But here we are. I mean, regardless, maybe linked to that story, there's an awful lot left unanswered at the end of this season.
Yeah, 100%. I'm going to tell you what the synopsis for episode 1 of season 3, just to sort of help us with our curiosity because we expected to get answers and all we got was questions, really.
Yeah.
From the end of that, didn't we? After Dario Cueto's arrest, the luchadors return to the temple where their destiny will be determined by the spin of a wheel. Oh no, it's 1993 and WCW's back.
Oh, not a coal miner's glove match.
Sting. Rey Mysterio competes in the main event.
Oh, still there?
Yeah. Marty the Moth, Matanza Cueto, Son of Havoc, Phoenix, still there. See anyone new?
Some big names still there.
They're dragging us to here. Ow! He's got a broken arm.
The last time they kind of, remember they like acknowledged the off season basically, like they were all getting on bikes or shooting out to the sky or whatever it was that they do, depend on their gimmick. Whereas this time it was, Dario's away, or the rest of them all just like standing looking at each other in the temple, like, are we going to get paid?
So somebody's just like, damn it, Paul Heyman incident. I was quite dissatisfied with the end, and I wanted to see some sort of. I think we got something quite dramatic happened at the end of the last one, did we? I don't actually remember.
We had.
Oh, we got Penta revealing that, or Vampiro revealing he was Penta's master, didn't we?
Yeah, and was Dario like doing a runner with a bag of money or something like that?
Yeah, and we saw Matanza in the back of the in the back of the trailer, just his wee. I think it feels like, on reflection now, it feels that this season was a little rushed, just a little. I think compared to season one.
Yeah.
But again, there's been some good things. I surprisingly, genuinely quite like the whole Sexy Star arc of our story. I think that's been really good, and I'm happy to see her win that Gift of the Gods title at the end there. I would have liked Penta to have won the title. Yeah. I wonder if Vampiro's back for season 3. Probably just sitting there.
Yeah. I mean, he's back on his pills, so he'll probably be, after he's recovered from the severe beating that he took, he'll be fine. It'll be like none of it ever happened.
Yeah. So
maybe they could do a none of it ever actually did happen. This was all in Vampiro's head.
Yeah. You wouldn't be surprised, would you? Come the end to season 4. Just sitting drawing it all or something.
It's like I had approach sitting down with a TV exec, like I've got this idea for a show. And the TV exec's like, I'm just gonna watch that.
Oh, amazing! That would be brilliant.
So,
oh well, yeah.
I think on reflection, I enjoyed most of Ultima Lucha, but season 2, I remember being really excited to start season 2, and I'm not right now excited to start season 3, which is a shame.
Yeah,
but I think that tells its story.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm sure we'll come back to season 3. It'd be a shame not to. I think you need to find out what's going on, but I genuinely don't know if it stopped at season 4. I don't know if it stopped through. Like, we could get to the end of season 4 and there still not be answers, I suppose.
Yeah, like one of those annoyingly cancelled TV seasons after 2 seasons and everything's left unanswered.
Yeah. Although I sent you a clip of Dario Cueto. I can't remember what his name was in MLW, but he still appears to be basically playing that character in MLW.
Yeah. It suits him. He's good in the role.
Definitely. What is his name? Cesar Duran.
Okay.
And he seemed to just still be playing this sort of sleazy promoter.
kind of his thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
There we go. End of season 2 done. I'm surprised. We've watched all that. It's probably time to switch things up, right?
Yeah, I think so. A little bit of a change of pace.
And what we're planning on doing is starting watching Smoky Mountain Wrestling, which is pretty much going from one end of the scale all the way to the other end of the scale, I think.
Yeah.
What do you are you looking forward to doing that?
I am. It's weird in that it's a promotion I've heard so much mention of, and beyond it all being, Jim Cornette's thing, I don't really know anything about it. So I'm going in complete, like, all possibilities are open, but obviously with it being Jim Cornette driven, I've got in my mind what kind of thing I expect it to be.
Right. Yeah. I think part of the fun of this for me will be spotting up and comers, people that we now know and all that sort of stuff. We'll see how we get on. We'll do the same as what we did with Lucha Underground. We'll watch a few episodes, we'll chat it through, and then we'll see if we continue with it. If it's, I do worry about. I've definitely went more towards what you do now and don't watch wrestling, and only what wrestling I'm watching is what we are watching. So going from Lucha Libre to Smoky Mountain Wrestling is probably a bit of a gamble.
Yeah, it is a wee bit. But I think the thing is we have to give it a chance, because it'd be really easy to watch one episode and think, no, this, like, I think the best wrestling that I ever remember watching had quite a good mix of things. You had your technical, very good wrestling, and then you had a couple of good, strong storylines and things like that on the go. I'm expecting Jim Cornette to want, real wrestling in the ring, but there's, I suppose, the possibility of some pretty hokey stuff going on as well. We'll just have to see what that looks like and how it all plays out.
Yeah, it's starting 1992. We've definitely seen Smoky Mountain Tag Team Champions. We've seen Jimmy Del Rey, and what a prospect to seeing more Jimmy Del Rey, the Gigolo, on our journeys through certain things. So yeah. Have you ever seen that clip? I think it must have been on like a Dark Side of the Ring or something like that, where Cornette's explaining wrestling. It's basically two people scrapping outside the road.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, if it follows that concept, then I think I really like that. So if it follows that, it would be golden.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's always interesting to me to look at something I've never seen anything of before. So let's see how we get on.
So, okay, well, there's nothing really, I don't think, that we can sort of preview this time, but we'll watch it and see where we go and reconvene in 2 weeks. I will not go and watch 4 episodes of Smoky Mountain Wrestling right now, because I've seen the error of my ways tonight. And whilst I do recall most of that, there was bits and pieces there.
Just got to pace yourself.
Yeah. We're going to see if Rangers have managed to pick up a new championship manager. A failed English championship manager. So there'll be plenty kicking about.
Yeah. Good luck with that one.
Yeah. Okay, right. Let's reconvene in 2 weeks, Adam. You take it easy. We'll be very, very close to Halloween this time we speak.
Yes, it will be. Yeah, nice. Cool.
Yes, right. See you then.
Cheers.